typically like the big recruiting starts your junior year.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any interest coming out of your junior year, conversations you were having with teams?
There were a few because we were doing well as a team, and then we had a number 4 receiver in the country. Lance was a guy that came with me to Texas.
Okay,
was one of my best friends, and then our quarterback was ranked 25 in the country or somewhere around there.
Okay,
so they were bringing in scouts.
Got it.
But they were looking at them and not necessarily me. So they would give me some oh, yeah, we'll check him out. We'll look at him. He looks okay.
That was, you go to the weight room and you're on the college mailer list, right? Hey,
Yeah,
how many letters you get today? Yeah. Hey, just a stock letter.
Exactly.
Unless your name was handwritten on the front, it didn't mean anything, right?
Exactly. I got a lot of those.
Yes.
A lot of those.
Yeah. Washington was really good at sending letters out.
So I had no one was really looking at me. I mean, I was a 2-star recruit coming out. I went to all of the camps my junior year. I went to Texas. I went to Florida. I went to A&M, TCU. Nothing would stick. Then I got some interest in like people like San Jose State. They didn't offer. Then I got interest from UConn. They actually offered and then took it back after my visit. So
bastards.
I don't know.
Dang.
It was
just something I said?
I don't know what happened. I actually ended up meeting the coach again while playing in the league in my last year.
Oh, that felt good. I bet.
Randy Edsel from UConn. But yeah, I didn't have any scholarships. After my senior year, I went to the All-Star game. It was a private league All-Star game at Jesuit right down the street from here. And I can't remember the name of the coach there, but he was just like, man, you're not going anywhere. This is crazy. Let me put some calls in. So
this was your all-star coach. This wasn't even your high school coach.
No, this was my all-star. Yeah, this is my all-star team coach. Yeah.
Wow.
Now, we sent out tape to everywhere because, I mean, we had access to schools because of the 2 players that we had in the success. But yeah, he was just like, man, we got to get you somewhere.
So what's your mindset though going through this process? Like nobody's really showing much interest. I've got this big dream and this plan, but the 2 aren't connecting. So what's your mindset during this whole process?
Man, as I look back at it today, I was like, man, I was crazy. Like, what was I like? I just had like crazy faith from a young age. Yeah. Like I felt like I was always going to be the exception. Mm-hmm. Like, so when the teacher or would bring someone in and say, less than 1% of you guys in this room are going to make it to college, and then less than that is going to make it to the NFL. Mm-hmm. I'm like, okay, thank you. I appreciate that information, but I'm the exception. Yeah. I'm going to be that guy.
Hey, you 99% need to listen to
him. Exactly.
See, that was always my mindset too. And I don't know where that comes from. Where do you think it comes from for you?
I don't know. I think that one, like my faith definitely played a part of that. I think that anything is possible. Like, it doesn't matter any situation. Like, I would always speak like, I told guys in middle school that I was going to play varsity my freshman year. Like, I'm not going to play JV football. I'm going to play varsity. Yeah. I ended up playing varsity. I would tell guys, like, we would just sign up for these AAU tournaments, YBOA tournaments at the time growing up. I'm like, the winner goes to Puerto Rico or Hawaii. We're going to Hawaii.
We're going.
Yeah. We're going. Yeah. We're going, no matter what. So that was just my mind, the competitive drive. Like, I'm the exception, and that's what it was going to be.
Love that.
And so going into my senior year, after senior season, no scholarship offers, I was like, man, something's going to happen.
How many people laughed at you, though, at that point?
Oh, man, there was a lot of people that were just like, man, you got to do something. Like, we got to, I knew there was going to be, like, opportunities for lower tier colleges, maybe like junior colleges. If I wanted to go to playing like MEAC or historically black college, there could be some opportunities there. But I just like been on like, I'm going D1 and I'm gonna play D1 football. And yeah.
So walk us through that process, that last process, right? That roller coaster that you went at the end.
So I ended up the coach of Jesuit set me up with Notre Dame because it was a big tie-in right there, Dallas Jesuit and Notre Dame. And then they liked the film. They liked what they saw. And they say, Justin, we're going to offer you a scholarship. They sent down the running back coach.
And this is after your senior season.
After my senior season.
So typically, just for those of you who are unfamiliar with the recruiting process, they typically will fill their scholarships for sure by the end of the season, your senior season. Typically, they know who because the recruiting trips happen that fall. If not junior year, usually you get commits like late junior year, and then you go through your senior season, and then you sign. Unless you're like one of the 5 stars where you're just like getting everybody to like
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to obviously give anything.
Yeah,
but
yeah, right.
Get them to bid.
Not at that
Bid
time.
what?
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, we did it clean. Nowadays, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
but,
exactly.
But after the senior season, if you're not locked in with a group, and surely if you haven't had conversations with them,
Yeah.
it's hard. It's really, really hard.
It's unlikely.
No, not hard. It's impossible.
Yeah, so they sent down the running back coach, Buzz Preston. I remember him meeting me at my office, my coach's office in high school, and talking was like, yeah, we like to offer you a scholarship, man. This is,
Wow.
you coming to Notre Dame.
Gosh.
That's Notre Dame. That's not like, hey, UTEP offered me. That's Notre Dame.
This is Golden Domer. This is Touchdown Jesus.
No offense,
Rudy.
UTEP, by the way.
Yeah, no offense to you. Yeah. So I'm thinking like this is like the stars are aligning. I'm like, I'm the Black Rudy. It only makes sense that I'm going to Notre Dame, right? So that is like my mindset is like, yeah, God is just He'd work this thing out perfectly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And then a week before signing day, Notre Dame called and told me they didn't need me. So heartbroken, crushed.
I mean, what a high to like.
Oh man, unbelievable. I remember. I mean, we were living in Arlington at the time, South Arlington at the time, and lived in a home that had a basement, which is uncommon, out here. And I was living. My room was in the basement, and I just remember 17-year-old kid going down into that basement right by my bed, crying my eyes out, like literally just crying out. Getting on my knees and praying to God. I was like, man, God, I'm doing everything right. I'm the one that's going to Bible study. I'm the one everybody's going partying and drinking over at the Parks Mall. I'm doing 1,000 push-ups and sit-ups a night. I'm going out training on Sundays after the games. Like I'm in the heat by myself, pushing myself to these limits. Like I'm going to church every Sunday. Like, God, why is this happening to me? Like, you got to show me something. I can't keep doing this without you showing me something now. And that was my position, to God at that point. Like, you got to show me something. I remember it was one of those, it was a pivotal moment, not only just for career, football aside, but just like my spiritual journey. Because at that moment, God spoke to me in a way that I never had up until that point. Because I literally had these books on the table. I flipped open. I said, God, you got to show me something. And it literally landed on Proverbs 3. So I'm going through Proverbs 3 in those first couple of verses, Proverbs 3, 5 through 6, where it says, like, trust in the Lord God with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, acknowledge him in all your ways, and he'll direct your path. And I stopped there, and I was like, I felt like this warm sensation on the inside of my body. And I felt like God was wrapping his arms around me. And I felt this peace that I never felt in my life.
I'm getting chilled, man.
Like I couldn't explain it right at that moment. And as a 17-year-old kid, I'm just like, at that moment, not even 30 minutes ago, the worst news I've gotten in my life, to like, okay. Like, I don't know, nothing on the outside it had changed, but something had changed on the inside of me. And I just had a peace, and I just got to excel at what I can control. I'm going to continue to work. Something's going to happen.